Hi there, good morning everybody. I hope you are well today. Looking forward to the challenge that's going to be taking place very shortly. You have to excuse my slightly unshaven look today. The kids have been keeping me up. I went to bed quite late, got up quite early, and just generally, I'm getting that lockdown look again. Long hair and a little bit unshaven. So I apologise for that. But some would say rugged. We'll have to see how it goes. So I'm really looking forward to today's LikeReal Racing Challenge. And this is obviously going to be taking place with our RA Pro members. So if you're here, just give me a hi in the chat box. Say hi, let me know that you're here. I'm looking forward to see who's going to win. We've got this absolutely awesome cup here. This is for the winner of today. And obviously you also get the bragging rights, which is absolutely awesome. So this is the winner will get this. This is only going to be the second time that I've sent one of these mugs out. And it says I smashed the Race Advisor LikeReal Racing 60-minute challenge. It's a 60-minute challenge. We're going to go through the races that take place on our LikeReal platform from 11:10 to midday. So the first race is going to be at 11:10. The last race is going to be the midday race. Then we're going to see who made the most profit on those races. And there's very, very little rules here. I'm going to be looking through them as well. And I'd love to hear who you're going to be jumping on. Place your bets on that LikeReal platform. If you are not a Race Advisor Pro member, please do get involved, say hi, ask questions. I'll show you what we're going on. You'll see, obviously, the LikeReal Racing platform in action. I'm going to be taking a look at those races as well. Make sure you've got your members area open, logged in, get ready to start finding those selections. There is one rule and one rule only. The maximum stake is 5 race coins. And that's either 2.5 race coins each way or 5 race coins on the win market. That is the only rule. Outside of that, you can place as many bets as you like in a race, on as many horses as you like in a race. The only thing I'm going to be looking at is who has made the most profit at the end of the 60 minutes. So the first race is going to be at 11:10. Now, if you're on YouTube, on the right-hand side of your screen, over this side, you're going to see a chat box. Say hi in that chat box. Give me a message. Send it over. Let me know that you're here. There's a slight delay for me to receive messages on the streaming software, but send it over. Let me know. If you're on Facebook, just below this video is a comment section. Drop a comment in there. Say hi and let me know that you are here as well. And now I'm just going to double cross check everything's working. Hi, James. Great to have you here this morning, James. Thank you very much for joining. I'm looking forward. I'm hoping you're going to get stuck in with us. James over on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, you may not see that message. So I know Facebook is working well. That's awesome. Thank you very much, James. In just a couple of minutes, I'm going to jump on I'm going to jump onto the LikeReal Racing race, the first one. But I'm going to give us a couple of more minutes because I'm not actually sending the link out. I've only just sent that link out so to join in today. So I don't want anybody to miss. So as I was saying, LikeReal Racing Challenge, it's 60 minutes. 60 minutes. Who's going to smash it? The winner of the challenge gets one of these. Race Advisor, I smashed the LikeReal Racing 60-minute challenge. It's only going to be the second time only that we'll have sent one of these mugs out. I love these mugs. I don't even have one of these mugs myself, actually. I really must get one, but I feel that I'm not a due one because I can't take part in the challenge. So I feel that I am not due one of these mugs. So I actually don't have one myself. And I'm kind of jealous of who's got them. So this is only going to be the second time we're going to have sent one out. Well, I'm honored, James. I'm honored that you are spending that rare hour to yourself with us. I know the feeling. I know the feeling very much about that rare hour. Oh, sorry, I've just realized this door is open. Bear with me. I'm going to shut that door there. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay. So, well, thank you very much for spending your hour with us. Now, so for the people who have just joined us, the LikeReal Racing Challenge. Now, if you're an RA Pro member, make sure you have your software open, your dashboard open. The first race that's going to be part of the challenge is going to be the 10:11 race. Every race from 10:11 to midday is going to be included in the challenge, and at the end of it is the person who's made the most profit is going to win the prize, plus of course all the bragging rights of saying that you won, you smashed that 60-minute LikeReal Racing Challenge. So that's what's going to happen, and there's one rule and one rule only. That is, your maximum stake on any single horse is 5 units. That's 2.5 race coins each way, or 5 race coins to win. That is the only rule. You can bet on as many horses as you like in each race. I'm going to be going through the races with you. You make your decision. You place your bets in the software. If you're not an RA Pro member yet, you can see there's a link below me. Go and join there. There is a waiting list. We're not currently open, but you can go put your name down there. But you'll be able to see how our LikeReal Racing platform works while we're doing this as well. And you'll be able to see how awesome our pro members are at smashing this. Will, thank you. Good morning, Will. Great to have you here. Love the cup. I love the cup too. I love the cup. I want one desperately for myself. As I was saying, I don't have one for myself. I really desperately want one for myself. Morning, Paul. Thank you so much for joining us over on YouTube. That's Paul. Hi, Paul. Thank you. I hope you've got your software open, guys. We're going to get ready to jump in here. I'm super looking forward to this. So I'm gonna wait 1 more minute. When it gets to 3 minutes past 11, I'm going to open the race and have a look. But that doesn't stop you from having a look right now while we're doing this. The first race involved is going to be the 10 past 11. That's going to be the first race that we're going to include in the results. And the last race we're going to include is the midday race. And these are the races at Aldermis Racecourse on our LikeReal Racing platform. So those are the races that you can get in. Gordon, thank you so much for joining us over on your YouTube. Really great to have you here. So great to see so many people joining us this morning. Thank you so much. It's going to be awesome. I am super excited. I'm really pumped about this. For those of you who've just joined, this mug is the winner's mug, as well as all the bragging rights that you get for winning the Race Advisor 60-minute LikeReal Racing Challenge. You also get this mug. And as I was saying, this is only going to be the second time that we're going to have sent this mug out. And I don't even have one myself because I don't take part in the challenge, so I don't feel that I can take one of the mugs. So these are very, very rare. I absolutely love them. And this could be yours. It'll be winging its way to you through the post if you get the most profit over the next 60 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to jump in here. If you're joining in now, that's cool. Just join in, come in. There is no time frame. You can still win, whether you bet on every race, every horse. It doesn't matter. You can bet on one race. You can bet on all of them. There is no obligation to bet in every single one of these races. So I'm just going to bring up the screen here so you can see me. I'm going to be going through the races myself, but you must place your bets inside the LikeReal Racing platform. And I will be tracking them, hopefully, a little bit more efficiently than I did last time we did this. But now I'm going to be tracking them. I'll be jumping back a little bit to see if you've got any questions. So you can see here, LikeReal Racing down here. First race, 11:10. Let's open that race. Let's see what we've got going on. Let's see who's going to win. I'll just have a quick look. Let's see. Has anybody placed a bet yet? No, I don't think anybody has yet placed a bet. So it's fresh. It's open. Let's see what's going to happen here. So you can see here, I'm just going to change this to the standard race card. This is a handicapped race. It's predicted to be slow. It's a flat all-weather race, class 6, standard to slow, 1 mile, 5 yards, 8 runners. 60% VDW win race score, 92% VDW place score. Could be good for some each way bets there. It's pretty low class, 2,782 prize money. Look at these runners. Let's see what's going on with the odds at the moment. G for Gabriel is currently the favourite in this race. Gervaux, also second favourite. Going up to Wensley, and actually it's quite a smooth transition there all the way down those horses till we get to Total Distraction and River Sprite. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the PR odds and see how they follow. And actually I noticed that these three follow in the same order as the market. That's always a nice sign. And if I open up the probabilities, we can actually see that raw probabilities before merged with the live odds here. G for Gabriel is significantly higher than the others, but it also drops in Splash Verb as well as a potential horse there. Now, they're carrying kind of 9-10. There's no jockey. This horse here, Splash of Verb's got a jockey allowance of £3. You can see that when I hover over. There's that jockey allowance there of £3. Morning, James. James is getting his bets in now. Are you getting your bets in now? There's 5 minutes until this race goes off. If you haven't placed a bet on Aldermis yet, let me show you how you can do that while you're looking at it. You'll see down here on the left-hand side of the horse's number, there is a little bet slip icon. You click on that bet slip icon, it's going to pop up the LikeReal Racing simulated betting. You can see here we've got G for Gabriel, 3.57 odds, and we can put our stake in here. Your stake has to be 5 units per horse maximum. That's either 5 units as a win bet, or if we're going each way, it is only 2.50. That's the maximum if you're going each way. And you can see here, this is each way, a fifth of the odds on this market. We place that bet. You can choose whether to use it from the standard wallet or the bonus. It doesn't matter which wallet these race coins come from. You can do whichever you like. You can then place that bet. That bet is in. We'll see it in the system. So that's how you place a bet on LikeReal Racing if you've never done it before. It's that simple. It goes in nice and quickly. Okay, so that's how that works. That's how you can place that bet. Now, coming back into the race, there's 4 minutes until this race goes off. I'm not sure if James has put his bets in yet or not, but let's see what else we can find here. Looking at the 5-2-7-8, it's pretty spread out here, but I notice again G for Gabriel is sitting at the top. Day since last good run. River Sprite's a bit of a concern. 383 days. That's not so. I'm not so keen on that. Javot, a bit of a concern. Never had a good race. There's no day since last good race because it's never had a good race. And you'll see on LikeReal Racing, you can click on a horse's name just like you can do on live racing, and you get this information up here. This is the horse's entire race history. You can see it exactly like you would on live racing. If you want to see the race card for the horse as well, we can just click on the race card and we can see every rating the horse has had on LikeReal Racing as well. So it behaves exactly the same way as real racing if you want to look at a horse's race history. So we got those there. Now, this is a standard slow 1 mile race. So a number of good races in the last 10 is going to be quite interesting. And again, G for Gabriel sitting up near the top. Javot is down here. I'm actually going to take Javot out because not had a good race yet. Wednesday is sitting there as well. We're down to just 3 horses. I'm going to run a quick Monte Carlo simulation. Let's see what this pulls up. Obviously, there are a myriad of ways you can come in and have a look at this race and analyze it, but I'm just going to jump onto that simulation and see what that brings out. James has placed his bets. Have you got your bet in on this race yet? Now, I'm just going to have a look. I'm going to see if it comes in. I'm not sure. Well, I'm just checking the queries I've got here just to see how, making sure I've actually got them set up right so I can read everything correctly. Bear with me. Now, I think I might have got some of the time frames wrong while that simulation is running away there. James has got his bets in. Is James going to be winning in this race or not? Now, I can't actually see this bet, which means there's something wrong in my query, and that is kind of annoying. Let me just send that over to our developer very quickly. Bear with me 1 second. I've got him just on the line for exactly this reason, because I didn't have last time. We had a couple of things. No. Let me just message him now. There we go. Okay, he's checking that out. Okay, that simulation is finished. James has got his bet in. Have you got your bets in? Let's see who's at the top there. You can, if you want to, move on to the next race. There's 10 minutes between each race. You can see that at the top of the screen. If I just exit the simulation, you can see the next race here. The 11:20 is going to be the one that we're going to be betting on next. But let's see what the results of the simulation were. If we sort here in order, we can see G for Gabriel sitting there at the top, Splash of second, Wednesday coming further down. And there's actually quite a difference between how these horses are spreading out here. But G for Gabriel looks strong, Splash for Verve looks strong, based purely on the simulation there. Obviously, if you want to be doing speed graphs, you've got all of the speed graphs as well. Like you can see here, we can use those, zoom in a bit. We can use these to predict what we're doing, filter by, let's say, all weather only. But this race is about to go off now, and we're going to see that happen in just a second. When that happens, this clock here, it literally just happened. It changed from a clock to a play button. So this race has now gone. There is no more betting on this race. Paul's gone on number 1. I'm going to open this race so we can watch it, and then I'm going to jump into the second race. So let's watch this race. The speed that the simulation of the race is going to load is going to be very dependent on your local machine and your internet speed. Here we go. Looks like he's going to do well here. Number 6 dropping off. Number 1 coming up a little bit at the end. But I was on number 1 as well, Paul. That was all right. I would have won. I thought number 1 was looking very strong too. But actually, it was false idea that won. Splash of Verve came second and Javot came third. And let me just turn the sound off there. So that was the order there. And actually, if we now refresh this race page, we'll see those results. They haven't quite popped up yet, but the results will pop up shortly next to each of these horses. So that was the race. Now I'm going to come back with the totals in a minute. We've just got a bit of a technical problem there. So while those totals are coming back, they're being fixed out by the developer. We're going to jump over to the 11:20 race, which is a beginner's chase race. Chase turf, obviously, yielding 6,600 prize money. 2 miles 5 furlongs. 2 miles 5 furlongs here. Well, Jiva Gabriel to win Smash and Verb each way cover for William Hamilton. Hook winner number 1. Well, I know. What can I say? Okay, we're on to the second one. Let's forget about that race. I'll come back to the totals in a minute. I'm going to do those totals in a minute. In the meantime, we're jumping over to the 11:20. This is a beginner chase race, 2 miles 5 furlong, yielding ground. Look at these VDW win scores here. We've got a 78% VDW win and 96% VDW play score. So let's take a look at VDW. Let's see what's going on here. The VDW score. Remember, VDW score, lower is better. Lower is better on a VDW score. Pardon me. So April's Joy is up there at the top. And what this VDW race score means is that historically, under similar races, with a 96% place, one of those top 4 VDW score horses, which you've got in this far right column here, one of those top 4 horses has placed 96% of the time, and one of them has won 78% of the time. That's what the VDW race scores mean. So we can see here that actually April Joy is massively lower on VDW score than anybody else, partly due to no form here. But that ties in being the current favorite at 2.05, so significant favorite here. The next one is Classic Concord at 5.96. So maybe there's 2 good bets just on April's Joy each way, Classic Concord each way. I don't know. You tell me. Do you think those are 2 good bets? Looking at the 5-2-7-8, those 2 horses are also number 1 and number 2 there as well. However, Classic Concord hasn't had a good race for 260 days. That could be worse. That is essentially a season. So maybe that's what's going on there. Without looking further into the form, it's hard to see. So do you know what? Let's have a quick look into Classic Concord's form. Here we go. Classic Concord's form. Here it is. Having a look down here. Now, remember, we're in a chase turf race, 2 miles 5 furlongs with about 6,000 prize money. So we've got a chase turf race. I should also say as well, yielding ground. So that's kind of like good to soft, yielding to soft. So we've got here, we've got some 3-milers down here, yielding to soft. Beaten by half a length, beaten by 7 lengths, pretty good. So we've got one where it was competitive, carrying 11.5. So today, Classic Concord's actually carrying 12 stone, so it's got some more weight there. Scrolling down here, we've got these hurdle races, but that's obviously a bit different. The jumps aren't quite so high. In fact, we've only got one chase race, and it was beaten by 30 lengths. So that's not filling me with much confidence. It looks like hurdle is better. It looks like possibly longer distance is better. It looks like possibly firmer ground is better. But we've also got a couple of fools here. Only 2 though from all those races, so that's not so bad. But there's a bit of doubts. There's some doubts there over Classic Concord. So jumping back here into the race, who are you betting on? There's 5 minutes to go until this race goes off. William Hamilton, April's Joy, all in, William, 5 units. Remember, the maximum stake is 5 race coins, but you can place that on as many horses as you like. That's maximum stake per horse. So you can do 5 race coins on each horse. So that's 2.5 race coins each way, or 5 race coins to win. James is charging his arm. William's going on April's Joy all in here. I'm quite following April's Joy here. I'll run a simulation in just a moment. I'm just going to see. Sorry, developers just sent me a message. Let me see what they're saying. Where am I? Okay, right. So April's Joy is looking very strong there. Classic Concord, I've got some doubts about. Do you know what? Let me open a different race card. I'm going to do my overview race card. This has got a lot of ratings on it, so bear with me. Okay, so on this race card here, now we've got PFP scores. I like PFP scores. I'm going to show you something here, a little trick. So the PFP Pro Class 1501. That gives us an idea of the class level of this horse. Remember, PFP starts at a base level of 1500. So we're not expecting much class really from this race as a whole. The next thing we do is we sort by PFP, the actual raw form figure. And we see That's My Boys is sitting up there next to April's Joy. But here's what we do next. These 2 are the top. Now I want to look at the PFP L95. And the lowest is 14.96. You see that? 14.96, but also April's Joy is 15.04. And I'm going to take the 15.04 here because this is a joint top rated horse. So I'm going to take the higher of the PFP L95. And the L95 means lower confidence level. That means that with 95% certainty, this range between 1516 and 1504, this range is where this horse sits for that rating. And what I'm going to do here is the lowest part of that range is 1504. So any horse who hasn't got a score of at least 1504 at the top end of their range is unlikely to be able to compete. And we got Blaze Trail down here. Top end of the range is 1501, so unlikely to compete. I'm going to be able to put that in there. Scully's Dream, the upper 95, top end of its range is 1502. Unlikely to compete because even if it was to perform to the best of its expected ability, it's still going to be at the not higher than the lowest expected ability of the best horse in the race. So I'm going to remove that. I'm going to remove Abbey Short as well. And that's a very quick way to slim down a field when we can look at the form like that, particularly when it ties in with what the market's saying as well. That gives us that extra confidence. So I'm going to run this simulation here now. Okay, I've got the results back while that simulation is running. I'm going to jump quite over here. Paul is on number 2 for Paul, Classic Concord. Is that each way, Paul? Are you going out on it on a win? Robbie Clark's on April's Joy as well. There's a fair amount of love for April's Joy here. Okay, just while that simulation is running, I'm going to have a check here. Right, let me see. Okay, I'm getting some results coming in now. Look at this. I'm getting some results. I'm getting some results coming in, which is awesome. Apparently, I've got the date format wrong in these results. So let me have a look here. I'm not sure how I've got the date format wrong, but apparently I have got the date format wrong. Okay, right, the simulation is finished. So I'm going to jump into that and have a look. I'm going to have a look at that simulation now. So here we are back over here. That simulation's finished. Let's exit it. Let's jump back in. We've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go until this race comes off. Let me just ask. Okay, so that comes up. We've got April's Joy at the top there, followed pretty closely Reuben James and Classic Concord, kind of back to back, very similarly. And then we've got another gap down to Turbo, and that's my boss. So we're looking at April's Joy there. It's likely to be the best. Coming down to Reuben James, Classic Concord, maybe next in. April's Joy is the one that looks strong for me. Now, I'm going to have a quick apology here. Paul's going for the win on number 2. So Paul's going for Classic Concord on the win. Who are you going for in this race? I'm going to come back to the results in just 1 second. I'm going to run them through for you in just a second, let you know where we're at when this race goes off in 1 minute. 1 minute only left on this race. So before this race goes off. Now, I'm going to have to give a quick apology for a second. You may hear my daughter. It's her nap time, and now obviously we're all locked in and working from home, and she's not at nursery. So it's nap time. So you may hear her having a bit of a cry as she's put down for a nap. So I apologize if you can hear that, but that's what that noise is, if you can hear it in the background. So this race, we've now got 30 seconds. That clock on the top right is going to change any second. Get your bets in quickly now if you haven't yet done it. I'm going to go through the results now. I'm just doing this. Here we go, 11 a.m. to there we go. For the time frame, I'm getting the query back. I'm going to go for the results. You can see that clock has now changed into a play button. That means there is no more bets. You'll see that the bet slips have also disappeared from this race as well. So let's play this race. Let's see what happened. Who's going to win? Close at the moment, looking quite close. Classic Concord. I know some of you are on Classic Concord. Who's going on April's Joy? Oh, Classic Concord just took it from Turbo, and actually April's Joy wasn't really that far behind. They were pretty closely bunched there. So Classic Concord. Got to have a big congratulations out there for Paul. I know Paul's on Classic Concord. I'm sure there were some other people who are on Classic Concord for the win. That if you had 5 points on Classic Concord, the odds on that runner were 5.96, so you're going to have done pretty well on that race. Jump into the 11:30. The 11:30 is the next race, and we're going to be nearly halfway through. After the 11:30, we're coming up to halfway through this 60-minute challenge. So take a jump into that next race, and let's see who you think is going to win in that race. Let me just see where we are at with the results. Okay, so here are the current standings as I have them. Now, there's a couple of people here that I haven't actually got the names next for, so I'm just going to give the totals running down. So bear with me 1 second while I do that. Let me get those totals up here on my screen. Here we go. Where am I? Okay. There we go. Bear with me 1 second. Jump into the next race already while I'm just bringing up these totals so I can give you the breakdown of the results as we go. I'm putting those up on my screen right now. While they're coming up, I'm waiting for them to process. We're going to have a look at this race. It's a handicap nursery race on the flat all-weather. We've got another all-weather race here. It's 1 mile, standard ground, 48% VDW race win score. So that's pretty low, but the place race score is 91% here, much, much higher. Only five and a half grand prize money, so pretty low here. So how should we start with this one? Do you know what? It's a 1 miler. Let's have a quick look at some of our speed figures, and I've got those just here. We've got the projected speed figure, the average speed figure over the last 90 days, the best ever average speed figure over the last 90 days. And what that means is the best ever means is this actually rates the runners that the horse has been running against. So we can see which horses have been competing against tougher competition. So we can see down here, Carlo Legge, who's not been performing very well, has actually been competing against tougher competition than most of the field, as has Style Dome up near the top. The others have been competing against kind of easier competition, shall we say. So that's what that best ever average is. It shows you the best runners in the race that this horse has been entered in for the last 90 days. But let's take a look, start with the speed figure here. The projected speed figure puts Floral Pearl up here. I mean, look at these last form places for these horses. I mean, these are pretty poor. These are pretty poor runners. And they're all much of a muchness here. We've got to break down here our Secret Pearl. So these are the kind of the top four here. All very much of a muchness, and then we've got a bit of a break from 60 down to 51 on the speed figure. If we look at the average speed over the last 90 days, however, it paints a different picture. That drops out Carla Lady, and it also drops out Elizabeth, and it reduces it down to kind of Style Dome and Floral Pearl. Now, we haven't really got enough data of speed over the ground or the distance. There's not enough data for across all the horses there. But looking at the 5, 2, 7, 8, we can see how they're spread out. Style Dome is looking at the top there. You can see none of these horses have ever won a race. That's why it's a nursery. So we've got that there. Have we had any that have had a good race? Where's my good race score? Only one of these horses had a good race. Style Dome is the only horse here that has run a good race. So there's that there. Now I'm going to open the speed graphs. We haven't looked at those yet, so let's have some jump into the speed graphs here. Okay, what are you going in? That Higgins over on YouTube going in the 11:30 number one. Fred Archer, I think you're going number one in this race. Just so you know, number one, that is Style Dome. That's two people here already on Style Dome. And they're liking the look of that horse. Who are you going on? How well are you doing? I'm going to be giving you the totals very, very shortly of how we're doing. Okay, so here are the speed graphs. Let's jump into the dynamic filter, put the flat all-weather on. Excuse me while I've got the developer there. I'm just confirming some of the data points that we're showing here so I can make sure that I'm fully accurate when I give you that rundown of the first 20 minutes, the first 3 races. So we can see here Style Dome's the only one really on this speed graph over all-weather. That makes him looking really strong. I'm going to reset that filter, but there are other horses. But look at this. Let me zoom in here. Look at this. Look at Style Dome. Look at that. Improvement, 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 improvement. Look at the other horses. Let's zoom out again. Decline, down, decline, decline. All the other horses in this race look from the speed graphs at a glance, without going into too much detail, like they're going on a downward declining trajectory. Style Dome looks like the only one who's been on that decline and has started to pick back up again. So based on these graphs, if Style Dome continues the performance, even if it's just at a level, he should be the one to beat in this race. So let's jump back over to the race card. Let's have a look at the market. Now, actually, interestingly, Stardome isn't quite favourite. It's just slightly behind Floral Pearl. So which ones of those two do you like, James? It does. This one does look very perilous. I have to agree. It's going to be a tough one. I'm going to run that Monte Carlo simulation. We've got 4 minutes until this race goes off. Let's run the Monte Carlo simulation. And this time I'm going to run it on this race card. This is a different race card to the standard one. Let's see what we get on this race card. And then if we've got time, we can compare it to what we've got on the standard race card. So while that's running, I'm just checking these results here. While that's running there, bear with me 1 second. Thank you. Okay. That's running with 50% of the way through. I quite like watching the simulations run because it gives me an idea of kind of advantage as it goes. And number 1 looks good. Number 6 looks good. And number 1 being Stardome, which is kind of what I wanted to see. It's currently winning 12% of all races. Floral Pearl is currently winning kind of just over 10% of all races based on this particular race card. Now that simulation is finished, let's exit that race. Come back in here, jump in, see what we've got. So as we say, we've got, it's pretty smooth actually. It's pretty smooth on here, but we've got Stardome Floral Pearl going into Perilous next, which is James, who likes Perilous in this race. Actually, I don't know if you do like Perilous, James, but maybe that's the one you've gone on, maybe not. Remember, the only rule here, the only rule to win one of these awesome mugs, the only rule is a maximum of 5 race coins per horse, whether that's 5 race coins to win or 2.5 race coins each way. That is the only rule here. Now I'm going to jump back over to the standard race card because the different ratings that you've got when you run a Monte Carlo simulation are going to give you potentially a different result, because obviously you're measuring the horse from a different angle. If you use different ratings, you've got a slightly different angle, maybe more information, maybe less information. But either way, it's going to be a different makeup. It's going to give potentially a different set of results. So one possible way of analyzing a race is having multiple race cards. You could have a speed race card, a form race card, a class race card, a connections race card, and you could run the Monte Carlo simulation on each of those race cards and stack how each one comes out to give you an idea of each horse's ability under the primary categories that we look at when we analyze a race. So that's one way of kind of fast tracking form reading a bit. And I think what we're going to see here is pretty much the same result, but possibly Floral Pearl not actually having quite as much advantage, or actually possibly Stardome not having quite as much advantage. But very few people actually I know use a race card for each of those primary form categories that we want to look at, but it can be a very, very powerful way of actually essentially reading form without having to read form. And what we're seeing here is exactly that. We're seeing pretty much the same results, but there's less difference between them. They're kind of a bit closer. Stardome's a bit closer to Floral Pearl, a bit closer to Perilous, and we've still got that gap underneath Perilous. Now we've got 1 minute left here. And let's see what happens there. And while that's happening, we're then going to run the next race. We're going to be in the 11:40. That puts us halfway through, because the 11:40 race, the last race that we are taking account of, is the midday. That means there's only going to be 3 more races left after this one. 3 more chances to get the win. This race is now, betting is finished. We're going to watch this race. I'm going to give you an update on where you're standing on the leaderboard. I'll do that right after this race. So let's see what happens. Okay, here we go. Stardome in the lead, followed by Floral Pearl. Our Secret Pearl's coming up behind as well. Looking good there. Step on red. He's still in there now, just putting back there. Stardome coming up to the front, just with Floral Pearl. Floral Pearl's going to take it. Floral Pearl's going to take it. Stardome, number 5 is coming in. Our Secret Pearl. I think it's going to be Floral Pearl there, followed by Stardome, followed by our Secret Pearl. Those are the 3 that was close. For a minute there, I thought Stardome was going to have it, but actually Floral Pearl just took it. Who were you on? Were you in that? Did you get that winner? James, you went for Perilous there. In the end, unfortunately, Perilous came in 6th in that particular race. Okay, so let's do the totals. Jump into the next race. I'm going to look at the totals of 1 second. I'm just getting back to our developers here. There we go. Okay, so this is the totals that I have currently. I have here. Now, I haven't got names against all of them, so I'm going to I do have names against some of them. Currently, Anthony is sitting at the top with a profit of 42.77 units. I'm going to go and get that confirmed. Next in the race, Super Clean with 13.7. I'm just using that username. You'll recognize that if that is you. And then we got 3 users that I haven't got a name for here. So if you win, I'm going to have to come and find you. But we got a 9.8 units profit. And then we're jumping down to a -1 unit profit and then -9.37 profit. After that, it's very, very close. The next 5 people are between -14 and -15. There's literally 1 unit of difference. So outside of Anthony, who's currently at the top, but you only need 1 big win. In fact, at 5 race coins to take him over. Apart from Anthony, everyone, there is 1 unit between most people here in this competition at the moment. So it's very tight. It's very close. So that's where we're at the moment in the leaderboard. So Anthony is storming in there. Can you beat him? Can you catch up with him? Let's see if you can catch up with him. It was a donkey derby in that race. Okay, jump to the second race. The next race, third from last that we're taking part in this competition. I want you to catch up. Can you catch up with Anthony? Super Clean. You're not far behind. Whoever is sitting there at 9.8 units profit. Now, if you don't know how to find your own profit, you can have a look at this. I'm just going to show you how to do that. I'm going to open another tab here on your dashboard. If you don't know how to do that from LikeReal Racing, come to your dashboard and you'll see selections. Today's Aldermis bets down here. You'll see this here. Click on the standard wallet. You'll see this. I'm just highlighting here. If you click on that, that's going to open your profit for the day. You can see that 1 bet I showed you at the beginning, how to place a bet sitting there. You'll see that. You'll see at the top your total profit, your return on investment, your strike rate, your AE ratio. All of that information is there, so you can also see how you're doing yourself as you go along. Okay, so here is that race. The next one is an amateur handicap hurdle. Its predicted pace is fast. I'm going to look at the pace here. Why not? Don't usually look at pace in a hurdle race, but let's do that. Hurdle turf class 4 going good 2 miles. A distance of 2 miles. There's 7 minutes until this race goes off. It's a VDW race score. It's 72% for the win market, 88% for the place market. So pretty strong there as well. Current market favorite is odds on Jimmy Rabbite. Odds on Jimmy Rabbite. We then got Native Fighter and Compatriot very close behind before we jump to Horse, who's 4th in the market, and then Will of the West, who is the outsider in this 5-runner race at 20.22. Who do you like? Let me know who you like. Put it in the chat right now. Let me know who you like in this particular race. I'm going to see if there are any bets coming in. Hold on. Let me see if I've got any bets coming in so far. Let's see who you are betting on in this race. Here we go. Okay. Right. So there's quite a lot of love for Jimmy Rabbite at the moment. Going for the odds-on favorite here. Which is interesting to see. So we've got the odds on favorite here. Now notice at the minimum, Will of the West, the outsider, hasn't had a good run for 305 days. So I would personally knock that horse out. That doesn't mean that horse can't win. It could win. It might win. But I would knock it out personally. Interestingly, I'm going to bring it back in because interestingly, if I sort by 5278, we can see actually it's also at the bottom as well. So we've got some other confirmations here that this horse isn't very good. But if we sort by speed alone, and this is speed over the same race type. So this is speed over hurdle turf races. This horse actually has the best speed over hurdle turf races out of all the runners. But there's too much looking for me against this horse, so I'm still going to knock it out. I'm still going to knock it out. There we go. Let's look at the PR odds probabilities. If we sort by probability here, Jimmy Rabbite looks to be the strongest by far from our raw probability. But, and here's the key, but we'd have given it raw odds of 2.29. You can see that in the far right-hand column. Now, when we merge those odds with kind of the live market under the PR odds column here, we give it 2.01. So we're not seeing any value in the odds here, but we're not after value at the moment. We're after winning. This is a 60-minute challenge, and there is only another 25 minutes left to go. So we're after the short term here. We're after the winners. We're not after value long term. This is different to how we would normally be betting. This is different to how we would normally be focusing. But it doesn't matter because it's risk-free. It's like real racing. It's risk-free, and the winner takes all. The winner takes, in fact, this mug, which you already know I love. I want one myself. I'm not going to get one, but I want one myself. It's only been the second time we're going to have sent them out. So this is currently waiting for you. And at the moment, Anthony's in the lead, but anybody at the moment could catch up. The margin of difference between all of the field here, all the leaderboard here is so tight. It's so small anyone could win. 4 minutes now. 4 minutes till this race goes off. Okay, what else should we have a quick look at here? Good race in the last 10. Well, Jimmy Rabbit and Compatriot are definitely standing out here. Let's have a look at the jockey and the trainer, because I don't often look at these two, because I don't personally use jockey and trainer information very much myself. However, looking at these two, we can see here that actually Compatriot is scoring the highest, significantly the highest for both jockey rating and trainer rating as well. If we look at PFP, we can also see Compatriot, Jimmy Rabbit, they're kind of sitting in the middle. Compatriot is actually higher than Jimmy Rabbit here. Native Fighter sitting there at the top, which is quite interesting to see from a PFP score. That would indicate that that horse has performed some good races. So do you know what? We've got 3 minutes. Let's jump into a little bit of the horse form here this time. Here we go. So let's have a bit of a look at Compatriot. Remember, this is a hurdle turf race, class 4, good ground, 2 miles. Okay, class 4 race, hurdle, good ground. Here we go. Last race, beaten 3.5 lengths, so not a great run, but it could be worse, but not horrendous, and we wouldn't count that as a good run. But coming down here to the 21st of January 2020, we got this 2 miler here on good ground carrying 11.10. Compatriot is only carrying 10.3 today, over the same distance, and it won that race by 0.2 of a length. It won that race by 0.2 of a length. Let me just get this. So 0.2 of a length there. Okay, and that shows that this horse can run under these conditions. So that's good. Okay, I'm gonna keep going through very briefly here. We've got a lot of beatings over very similar condition like this race at Stratford, but that was good to firm. But we've got 31 lengths here. There's a lot of volatility with this horse. Let's look at Jimmy Rabbit before time's up. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go on this. I'm just going to see, post in who you're betting on if you want to. If you don't want to share that information, we'll have a look at it once the race goes off in 2 minutes. But only 2 minutes now until this race goes off. 2 minutes to get in here. Okay. Now, let's see who we've got here in this race. So we've got a 25 on the 25th of June. So it's been quite a while for this horse. 25th of June 2019, a hurdle race, good ground, 2 miles. It was beaten by 3.75 lengths. We don't have to go back far. 10th of January last year. It's quite a long time ago. 10th of January, 2 miles, 3 furlongs. It was a longer race. It won. It won the 2 mile, 3 furlong before that. It won a 2 miler before that. So this horse, Jimmy Rabbit, likes the distance, but the odds are short. I mean, we know that. Let's have a quick look at Native Fighter in the last 1 minute here. The last 1 minute to go. Let's have a quick look here. So we got here Carmel, hurdle, good ground, only one furlong longer than the race today, but it was back 28th of June 2019, beaten 2.5 lengths. Beaten 2.5 lengths in that race. So that was a good race there. So again, Native Fighter has shown it can do it, but it's been a long time for this horse. Pardon me, it's been nearly a year. In fact, I lie, it's been nearly a year and a half. Prior to that, we didn't really have any good races at all. And it took a bit of a lead up into it. If we look down quickly in its history, we can see there was a big jump here about 6 months in 2018, and it came back, and it didn't come back with a massively great win. It sort of built up to that win over time. So it might be that this horse needs time to build up over to that win. Now this race is about to go off. You're going to see that clock on the top right-hand corner disappear. It's going to turn into a play button. The second it does that, you can no longer bet on that. That Higgins is not saying anything, but he is going on number 2 odds on. He is going on number 2 odds on. That's it. Bets are over. The race has started. It's gone off. The play button's there. The bet slips have hidden. You can no longer bet on this race. There's only 2 races left in this challenge. Let's see who wins this particular race. Okay, here we go. Number 4 currently in the lead, Native Fighter. It's going to be a mark for the book if Native Fighter comes in here. Okay, and let's see how we're doing. Number 5 coming up. Number 5, Compatriot coming in. Number 2, Jimmy Rabbit. That's the odds-on favourite coming up to the front at the end, as we thought it might do. So the race is finished in the order that we thought. Jimmy Rabbit came in at the end. Compatriot came in second place. So Jimmy Rabbit took that, was odds on, it came in, it made that win for us. Okay, jump to the 11:50, second to last race here. We're going to go through the results. Let me just see this. Okay, here we are. Are you ready for the results? So there has been some movement here. Okay. Now, Anthony is still in the lead, but only just now. There is, I think it's 15 points between Anthony with 41 units and the next person, I don't have a name for. Super Clean, you say pretty kind of level at 13 units, and we've got a bit of a drop down to the rest of the leaderboard here. But the actual range from the back, the lowest score currently is a -20, and there's a number of people who are sitting on -20 on the leaderboard. Otherwise, everybody there is between the top three and the bottom of the field. There is only 25 units, I think. Only 25 units. So one bet potentially could bring the person on the bottom of the leaderboard to the top, or very near the top. One bet, just one bet potentially could do that. So there is still all to play for here. There is absolutely all to play for. Last two races. Okay, I've got a new query here to look into the database. So I'm going to see who you've been betting on in this race. Okay, I'm going to see which are the popular horses in this race. All right. And Jimmy Rabbit was definitely the most popular in the last race. But coming into this race, we have quite a lot of people already placing their bets in. We've got a lot going on Caribbean Spring. We've got a lot going on Pike Corner Cross here. We've got a lot going on Scardu, I think, is in this race. If I got that might be the previous one. I do apologize. It might even be the next one. I don't know. We might even be in the next race here because I've not know the times of these. But definitely Pike Corner Cross is looking very popular here, as is Caribbean Spring at the moment. Let's have a look at this race. Let's see what we are doing, what we can find. Okay, so here we go. Where are we? Let's sort by the market. Let's see who is currently favourite in the market. And let's see what's going on here. It's an amateur handicap race, predicted slow, flat all-weather, Class 6 standard 1 mile. Hi there, Andy. Thank you for joining us. What we're doing today, if you've just joined us, you're not sure what we're doing. We're doing a LikeReal Racing challenge. It's a 60-minute challenge. There's 2 races left on the Race Advisor Pro's LikeReal Racing platform. This is a training platform for horse racing bettors. It's where you can practice in a like-real environment. You can play simulated bets in a like-real environment. You can get all the form of horses in a like-real environment, so you can practice your strategies. You can learn how to read form. You can practice your systems without actually risking anything. You can understand how the downswings are going to work, how the upswings are going to work. You can look at the horse's form. Everything is as if it was like real. If you click on the horse's name, you'll see we have the entire history of a horse as well for every single horse in this race. And today you've joined in with your RA Pro members are involved in a LikeReal Racing challenge, at the end of which there are 2 races left. It's 60 minutes. The winner will get the bragging rights plus this beautiful cup. The one, I don't actually have one of these myself. As I say, this is only going to be the second time we're going to be sent one of these out. It's awesome, and I'm really looking forward to it. So that's what this is. This is just a challenge. It's a simulated challenge to get involved and have a go. So if you're an RA Pro member, you can take part in this challenge. Okay, now let's have a quick look here at this race. We've got the odds. Going declaration of war, 4.13 down to 6.59, and 4.13 current favourite. Margaret J and Grassmere at the bottom, 22.23. They are currently the outsiders. There's 5 minutes till this LikeReal race goes off, and then we're into the last race of the challenge. Now, at the end of this challenge, I will hang around for a few minutes. If you've got any questions, on horse racing, if you've got any questions on LikeReal Racing, if you've got any questions on the Race Advisor, fire them away at the end of the challenge, and I will be happy to answer this. We are 2 races away from completing this challenge. I'm going to see who you are betting on, but first of all, I'm going to run the Monte Carlo simulator. So this simulator is going to run on this particular race. I'm using the standard race card. Let's see who you're betting on now. Okay, we've got some changes here. Caribbean Spring still looking to be strong from the bets perspective. Limerick Lord as well coming in there with a number of bets on Limerick Lord. Pike Corner Cross still sitting up there, kind of level with Limerick Lord in the betting here with you guys. Great to see people mixing it up a little bit, trying different types of bet structure as well. That's wonderful to see. So keep doing that. Keep trying different bet structure. There is a very little difference between the top in the leaderboard and the bottom in the leaderboard. Anybody could still take this race. Okay, this simulation coming in, it looks like Pike Corner Cross is going to come at the top here and be the favorite here, followed possibly by Caribbean Spring or Rivals Rob Roy. Not sure, but the simulation is about to finish, so we're going to exit out of it and jump back into it and see the results. So we can sort by the results. And Pike Corner Cross was at the top by Caribbean Spring, actually by Decoration of War. There's a little bit of a jump here between Pike Corner Cross and Caribbean Spring, and then another bit of a jump down to Decoration of War, and I think so. And then, in fact, Limerick Lord, Rivals Rob Roy, I didn't read that very well. They're coming in kind of towards the bottom half of the field there. Pike Corner Cross sitting there happily at the top. The 1.22 in green indicates that the odds are offering value, but this is only a 60-minute challenge, so value may not have time to kick in. We're looking for winners today. We're looking for winners as opposed to value because it's short term and it's like real. It's simulated, so we can practice, we can play without any risk to our actual betting banks. Okay, who are you going to go for in this race? Paul is going each way on number 5 to win. Mark's going on number 6 to win. Okay, Mark's going on Limerick Lord. Paul's going on Pike Corner Cross each way. I think Mark's going for the win there. I'm not sure he'll confirm. Looking at the PR odds, we've got here already sorted in order. Decoration of War at the top, Caribbean Spring second. Those are the two strongest, followed by Rivals Rob Roy, and I think so actually pretty close together there. So Decoration of War, Caribbean Spring, possibly there from the PR odds. That is actually totally, not quite totally in line with the market, but those are in the front of the market there. Decoration of War hasn't had a good race for 350 days, which is a bit of a concern. If we look at that horse's history, we can see that this horse has, this was its good race down here, 2.5 lengths, Wolverhampton or Weather. Quite a long time ago, quite a lot of bad races in between. All those races were on standard ground, same as today. Most of them were over a mile, same as today. So there's a little bit of a concern here. Today, this horse is carrying 11.2, however, and these races it was only carrying 9. So definitely some concern over Decoration of War. And possibly that would be a good each way bet if you're going on it, but I'm not sure. Andy's going on number 5. Thank you, Andy, for joining in here. Andy is going with Pike Corner Cross as well. Let me know if that's a win or an each way, which one you're doing. 2 minutes here, 2 minutes to the off. I'm going to jump into the pace because I keep saying I'm going to do pace and I haven't done the pace yet. I'm going to look at this very, very briefly. The pace here is predicted to be slow. We can see that at the top. If we click on that, it tells us what this actually means. It means that essentially there is unlikely to be a leader in this race or an early presser. So there's no horse that wants to take the lead and we get a slow pace. In these types of races, if there's a mid-pack horse that gets the lead, those horses can often win the race, and that's what a trainer will usually instruct a jockey to do if they think the race is going to be the race pace is going to be slow, so that can get you a nice winner. So you want to be looking out for those mid-pack horses, those closing horses that might just be able to take that lead. If we sort by total pace, because sometimes the total pace shows us something else. So looking at the total pace score gives us an idea. Remember, the total pace column is the pace that we expect the horse to have in this race. The running style is the horse's preference, as far as we can tell. So in this race, we're expecting possibly Limerick Lord actually might get up there at the front. It's got some good pace, and I think so potentially could be that early presser. Otherwise, the rest of the field look to be mid-pack slow, mid-pack closers, Caribbean Spring, Decoration of War, both in that category. This race is about to go off at any second. That clock is going to turn to a play button. The betting slips are going to disappear. Place your bet. If you haven't yet placed your bet, click on that betting slip, get your bet in before they disappear, and they've gone. It's too late. They have gone, and we're going to watch this race. We're going to see who is winning in this race. So let's watch this race. Let's see what's happened. Oh, hang on. I'm not sure what's happening. Let me refresh my screen for a second. Right, okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's see what happens in this race. Okay, they are off. Right, number 1 coming, Decoration of War is at the front of the wall, sitting in there, but Rivers Roy coming up. Caribbean Spring is sitting there in the back. just behind number 5. High Corner Cross is coming in there. High Corner Cross is coming up. It's going to contend. High Corner Cross actually might overtake. It's going to overtake. High Corner Cross is coming up to the front there. Limerick Lord just behind, dropping off as his Declaration of War. Limerick Lord's taking over. High Corner Cross dropping back. Declaration of War just couldn't make it up there. So number 6 was Limerick Lord. Declaration of War coming just behind him. High Corner Cross losing out at the end there to the Limerick, High Corner Cross losing at the end there to Limerick Lord. You may be able to tell I've never really read a race like that before. So there we go. Andy, you were on Pike Corner Cross to win. Never mind, it was close, and it looked like Pike Corner Cross was actually going to have it there for a minute. Morning, Judge. Okay, last race. Midday is the last race. I'm going to come into the results here. Okay, going to come into the results here. And there has been a massive shift in the results. Anthony has just stormed ahead here. Anthony has stormed ahead. It's going to be very hard to pick Anthony up now. He's plus 80 points. It's going to be very hard to catch Anthony up. There is one more race, and I don't know what the odds are in that race. But between the rest of the field, there is very little difference. Super Clean still currently in second place at 15.48 units profit. Then we got 11.97 units profit. User 2053. Then we got 8.85 profits. User 3515. And that coming down. The lowest profit at the bottom of the leaderboard is only minus 25. So actually, there is about 35 points between the top and the bottom at the moment. Don't forget, you can bet on as many horses as you like in a race. So potentially in the next race, let's have a quick look. Let's see how many runners are in this last race. Potentially in the next race, you could get a win and 2 each way places as well. So you can still make this up. In fact, you can still make this up. Okay, let's see who is who's going on in these races now. Bear with me 1 second here. I'm just going to add in one other piece of information that I can see here. I'm just going to double check that everybody is staking the right amount. And yes, everyone is staking. I'm very pleased to say everybody has been staking the right amount here. So that is absolutely wonderful. So these are the scores. They're verified. That is kind of where the leaderboard is at currently. It might be quite cool next time we do this if I can sort it out, have a live leaderboard displaying on the screen while this goes on as well. Let me know if we're going to do that. Mark, well done. Congratulations. You're doing well. Good job, Mark, getting in there on the last race. Right, here's the midday race. Is the last race in the challenge. Let's see who you're going to be on. Let's see who you're going to take. Okay. Now, there's a lot of bets coming in already. There's loads of bets coming in fact, already. Mahatha is looking to be very, very popular in this particular race. Circus Maximus as well. A lot going on here for Circus Maximus in this race too. Who are you going to bet on? Let me know who you're going to be betting on as we go into this race. I'm going to have a quick look here. This is a flat turf race, Group 1 stakes race. Okay, so there's 148k prize money. This is a good race. There are some good horses in this race. There are some good horses. It's good to soft ground. Distance is a mile. Okay, who are we going to take on? Gordon. It's pretty tough, Michael. The favorite has a very good in the last race. The favorite is Circus Maximus. Circus Maximus current odds of 3.63. This is the one that Gordon is saying has a very, very good chance in this race. Do you agree? Do you agree with Gordon? Let me know. Put it in the chat. Let me know if you agree with Gordon. Second favorite, Terrabellum, 4.32. Mahatha coming in third favorite at 5. Then we've got a little bit of a jump there to the fourth favorite, Roseman, who is kind of very close to Skardu. And we've got a bigger jump then to the rest of the field. Now, looking purely at Dayson's last good race, we can see down here, Mahatha hasn't had a good race for 430 days. 430 days. Mahatha hasn't had a good race for. Do you still like that horse, even though it's not had a good race for 430 days? And you know what? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at when these horses last won a race. That might change your opinion again. Let's have a look at when these horses last won a race. Here we go. Dayson's last one. Right. So Accidental Agent hasn't won a race for 728 days. Do you want to bet on a horse that hasn't won for 728 days? Mahatha hasn't won for 430 days. That's the same time as his last good race. So this race we finished number 5 obviously wasn't a good race, but the previous one was. Was it a bad race? Was it not a bad race? Obviously, it was another season as well. We've also got a number of horses here with seasons breaks, which actually makes the 426 days, the 364 days not quite as extreme as they may first look when you're glancing at it. So how do you feel about that? I mean, for me, Accidental Agent, having not won for 728 days, I would be knocking that horse out personally straight away. But let's have a look at the PFP LR points. So these ones, LR, you'll see them here on my screen. LR, LR2, LR3, LR4. These points show how many PFP, sorry, these factors show how many PFP points the horse has had in the last race, last 2 races, last 3 races, last 4 races. We like each one to be increasing from the last. That indicates general, gradual, steady improvement. You can see that here pretty much. From Terabellum, we got a 3 here, 2.4, 2.92, 6.07. You can see it from Marie's Diamond, 2.73, 3.98, 6.17, 7.85. This indicates these horses are improving. Same as Roseman, we're getting the same. Same as Space Traveler. When you get a high-class race like this, you expect most of the horses to have this. You see that with Mahara, but the horses that don't, such as Accidental Agent, where it's pretty flat, it's not horrendous, it's pretty flat. There's a little bit more concern over. Circus Maximus, last race, not so great, but before that was kind of doing okay. But notice the points aren't as high. It's not improving as fast as some of the others. If we look at the speed figure in the last race as well, so we can see Space Traveler had the fastest speed figure in its last race, but then Accidental Agent, Circus Maximus, Scardu, but that's not everything. Let's have a look at average for the ground condition first. Speed over ground. And we see Scardu, Circus Maximus both kind of pretty near the top there. And do you like Scardu? Odds of 7.62. Is that a horse that you like? William's going to go on Circus Maximus. Mark is going to be on Roseman. Paul is actually going to be on Circus Maximus as well, which is awesome. That Higgins is on number 2 and number 4. So that's Circus Maximus and Mahara on both of them. Who are you on? There's 3 minutes left. There's 3 minutes left here. Looking at where the bets are coming in, Circus Maximus, Mahara are looking to be very, very popular here in the betting. These are the horses that are looking to be the most popular in the betting at the moment. Okay, now coming back here, let's see where we were at. So these two looking strong for speed on the ground, but also Space Travel, Accidental Agent kind of sitting there midfield, all the others not potentially so strong. Let's look over the distance, speed, average speed over the same distance or similar distance of a mile. Space Traveler is sitting up there at the top this time around. Circus Maximus, Scardu, again, kind of just behind there, Accidental Agent, before we drop down to Roseman, Mahara. Now, Space Traveler 5278 isn't looking good, but Circus Maximus is starting to look pretty strong to me. That's the favorite. That's the one Gordon was saying. This is the one hard to beat. I don't know whether Gordon has gone on Circus Maximus or not. I know it's popular in the betting. 2 minutes left. Let's run a Monte Carlo simulation. I'm going to run it on this particular race card so we see exactly what's happening on this race card. And this is my overview race card, so there's quite a lot of factors on this race card. So we'll see what happens from this simulation on this race card. Is that the race card you use most? Actually, to be honest, Robbie, I use my RD overview race card a lot when I'm doing kind of live events and things, and if I want to get a really big picture of everything. But I actually use the standard race card quite a lot, to be honest. I will jump between a few. So I wouldn't say I use one more than others. So like if I've got if there's a race that's sprint, I'll look at the standard, and then I'll look at a speed only kind of race card, and then I might, if I've got time, jump back into this overview one. So I look at things like that, and I think it's a very good idea if you're creating race cards and you're new at creating race cards. You don't want hundreds of race cards to start with. I would create a speed race card, a form race card, a class race card, and the connections race card. Now, personally, I don't really use connections, but if you use connections, I'll create that as well. And then you've got the primary categories of form that we read, that we take account of. And I would look at one race card. If you're doing form reading, I'd look at one race card first, spend a few minutes on that race card, get my thoughts together, put them on paper, then do the speed one, then do the class one, and put them all together and then combine them together. Don't underestimate the power of grabbing a pen and paper as a computer or an iPad or anything else while you're looking at it and just scribbling some notes on the horses. Putting it in paper solidifies the thought. I looked into this psychologically. It's actually something to do with holding a pen and the connection to the paper and the brain. The brain actually behaves differently when you have a pen in your hand as it do when you've got a keyboard. So actually grab a pen and a piece of paper, and it will clarify those thoughts much quicker than if you're trying to do it on a keyboard or without anything at all. So I would definitely recommend that you do that. If you're looking at form reading as a pure kind of form reading approach, without using foundational strategies or things like that, if you're just going into a race with form reading, I would do a race card for each of those categories, and then grab a pen, piece of paper, spend 2 or 3 minutes only. That's enough. 2 or 3 minutes on each of the categories. Then combine that information, write down your notes, pen, paper, and then combine that information to see who you think is the strongest. Okay, that simulation is finished. This race has now gone. It started. We'll look at it in a second. Space Traveler was their favorite. Circus Maximus just behind. A little bit of a step down, but it looks super competitive. Okay, let's watch it. Let's see who wins this final race. Okay, time to start off. Right, here we go. Number 6, Stardust, taken over there by Bellum. Space Traveler is still spinning there with Mary's Diamond there, but just dropping back. Circus Maximus coming up very, very slightly there. Terrabellum still in the lead, but Stardew dropping down and Mary's Diamond coming into the 3rd place there. Space Traveler still got some time. Circus Maximus still a lot to do. Mary's Diamond pushed up into 3rd, pushing Terrabellum back. Hanging in the other. Circus Maximus is dropping off. Don't know what's happening there. Rossman coming in, but it is Mary's Diamond who ended up winning that race. Mary's Diamond ended up winning that race with odds of 23.07. So if someone bet on Mary's Diamond, they could have just won this competition. If someone bet on Mary's Diamond, they could have just won this competition. Terrabellum came in 2nd at odds of 4.32, and 3rd was Skardu coming in at odds of 7.62. So a little bit of a turn up for the books. Then we can see Circus Maximus just didn't push through in that race at all. Okay, so William, accidental agent. You were an accidental agent there. Moon 7, number 745 at Lone Races, 6 in the UK. Gordon was yes on that one, but can't catch up. Might as well worth it. Okay, here we go. I'm going to give you the leaderboard. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. Here is. I'm putting it up on my screen right now. Right. Wow, what a change that was. So coming in, there is. Coming in well, in fact, in 3rd place with 5.48 units. It's Super Clean. Congratulations, that was an amazing effort, Super Clean. Coming in 3rd place with plus 5.48 units is Super Clean. Only just behind them is a user. I haven't got the name for you, but it's I know your ID is 3515. I'll find you, but 3.85 units. So if you've got a profit of 3.85, you are in 4th. Super Clean, congratulations for coming in 3rd. Amazing effort. Well done. Coming in 2nd place. Again, I haven't got a name for you. I do have your ID here. If this is you, well done. Amazing effort. Plus 6.97 units. So just over, just at 1.49 units ahead of Super Clean with plus 6.97 units is user 2053 coming in 2nd place. Congratulations. Absolutely amazing effort there. Absolutely amazing effort. And the winner today with an absolutely phenomenal plus 70.72 units profit. 70.72 units profit. Anthony, congratulations. Big round of applause. Absolutely incredible results. 70.72 units profit in the last 60 minutes. Anthony, this cup belongs to you. This mug is yours. This is the 2nd time it's going out. I am very, very jealous. You can tell everybody that you just made 70 units in 60 minutes. That's absolutely incredible effort. Congratulations. Please contact us. Please contact me through the support desk with your details, your address. We'll get this shipped out to you straight away. Congratulations, an absolutely incredible effort there by Anthony. Everybody else, well done. The difference between 3rd place and the bottom of the leaderboard was only 35 units. Only 35 units. And actually, as you saw in that last race, that 35 units for Marie's Diamond at odds of 23.07 could have been made up in a single race. That could have been made up. So really, it was really, really close. An amazing effort from everybody. Thank you so much for joining in with the challenge. It's been absolutely awesome. William, I don't know what card he's using. If he wants to share it, I'm sure he will. Maybe he'll jump into the forum at some point and share. And you'll have to ask him that yourselves. So I'm going to wrap it up now. A massive congratulations to Anthony with an incredible plus 70.72 units in the last 60 minutes. A big congratulations to everybody who took part. Thank you so much for taking part. It's been an absolutely awesome 60-minute LikeReal Racing challenge. And you did really well. There was only effectively a 1 bet difference between the bottom of the leaderboard and kind of the second place. So only a 1 bet difference, a 1 race difference. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll do it again if you have enjoyed it. If you're watching this over on YouTube and you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button below. Hit that subscribe button. Get that in. Make sure you don't miss out on another video. If you're over on Facebook and you haven't liked the page, please do hit the like button as well. Tell your friends about it. Thank you very much. Have an absolutely awesome week. I'll be back very soon, and I will see you soon. Have a great day's racing. Take care, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye for now.